Welcome, everybody, to USC Sports Stadium on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. There's nothing but net media, your Australian stream team, Australian Sports Network, and, of course, Basketball Queensland present to you another QBL Game of the Week featuring the Sunshine Coast battle between the University of Sunshine Coast Rip City and the Sunshine Coast Phoenix. I'm John Guarn. I'm joined by Dave Derwin, and we've got Regan Baker on the production panel. A very big matchup here tonight. Both games with finals implications. Phoenix are sitting in a pretty good spot at the moment, Dave. Rip just outside of the finals. They must win tonight to keep their finals hopes alive. Should be a cracker.
Yeah, it certainly will be. And I think, as you can see, the Battle of the Beach I've represented here today.
Very well, yes.
All about love for the Sunshine Coast hoops community. But in all seriousness, no, it's going to be two really good games because realistically, it's not do or die, but it's close. I mean, they've got the winner, I think, is going to advance up the chain a little bit, and they're both around that, that 8th, 9th, 10th spot. So really is critical, and both of them are missing key players too.
Yeah,
in the women.
Exactly. For the University of Sunshine Coast, Rip City, they're missing two of their top players. Shivana Palvost is out, and Talia Tupea also out. Both looking to represent their countries on the international stage, I should say. So big outs for Rip City. They do welcome back Maddie Roche, which is a great addition for Rip. And the Phoenix here, they only are suiting up 7 players tonight with injuries and outs. This is going to be a really tough battle for the Phoenix. They did already have a win over the Rip in round 1. It was an 85-81 win for Phoenix over Rip. I don't know how much value there is in that result, though, so long ago, Regan.
Yeah, definitely so, and especially when they have had, injuries, and, Sunshine Coast is coming down with only 7 players as well. So realistically, it's a completely different ball game that we're going to have on our hands this afternoon or this evening. So, look, it really could go either way. There is big implications in it as well. So, look, it's going to be great to see, and I guess the next hour and a half is going to tell.
It's going to tell us a lot for sure. Rip, like I said, though, in the women's action, sitting right outside of the 8. They need to win, Dave. You mentioned it. It's not official, but if they don't win, it's pretty much over for Rip. So What do you expect to see out of them coming out off the opening tip?
Well, realistically, for the Rip, I mean, I'd be all over them all night, full court, pressing, trapping, etc. There's 7 of them, right? That's tough, even for the numero uno team in the league, if you've only got seven people in the rotation. So I'd expect Coach McCracken to be really all over them, full court, really dictating the pressure and tempo. And I'm really interested to see, Johnny, if our one of our favourites, Miss Lee, can get hot again.
Yeah,
that was some performance a couple of weeks ago.
Nearly dropping the 50 bomb, and we did see Carly Smith for the Phoenix on crutches. Unfortunately, she's picked up a knee injury, I think, so she won't be suiting up. That's a massive out, and she had a really big game in that first one for the Phoenix as well. And then you look at Phoenix, though, their top scorers in that first game were Caitlin Clancy and Lockwood, and they both are here tonight. So it's really anyone's game. It's going to be an interesting one. We're getting set for the opening tip, and I got to say, before we get started, how good is that scoreboard?
Well, you got to love when your co-tenants are the netballers, and they're benefiting by connecting in with the Lightning's scoreboard, and it's super terrific, mate. I think you could see it from the moon.
Probably. It feels like it. Definitely want to make sure we get a good look at that at some point. We'll ask our cameraman, Chris Sieber, to get us a shot of it during a timeout. You can see it there behind the basket at the moment. It's impressive for sure as Clancy fires a three that's off.
Is this its debut performance, Johnny?
For the QBL, as far as I'm aware, yes. Yeah. I believe the Lightning have been using it for the season so far. A couple of possessions for Rip. A lot of three-pointers, and then we see Phoenix fire away from deep. So three-point shooting.
Yeah, a little loose early. Get him up.
I like what you said, though, Dave. Just bring the pressure, use your depth. I saw you talking to Coach McCracken before the game. What did he tell you?
Well, he was obviously a little flat that he's missing a couple of his stars. But what do you do? I mean, obviously you can't get in the way of girls looking to represent their country, which is, obviously the ultimate. But equally, he's pragmatic about it. He's like, cool, we'll roll the balls out and let's get after it. So I think, he knows that it's a bit of a must-win. And equally, I think he's challenged the girls to come out and respond.
Yeah, Phoenix at 7-8 heading into this game in the 9th spot. Rip at 5-9 just behind them in the 10th spot as Roche gets inside, misses. We've yet to hit a score for either team to start this game.
Yeah, great move from Madison there. Nice little Euro.
That one rolls in and out. Lockwood missed that one. Here comes Roche again. Looking inside. That's a turnover. Lockwood comes up with the steal. Roche, though, stole it back, but then
just
gets called for the reach-in.
Well, a little sloppy on the entry passes there.
That's a few turnovers early for Rip. If you are tuning into the game on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook page, definitely let us know in the comments. Make sure you let us know who you are, where you're watching from, so we can get you a shout out. It is the Battle of the Sunshine Coast here. Phoenix have the advantage. They're up 1-0 on the season. Ball dribbled. Oh, they're going to get a foul call. That goes against Bianca McDonald for the Rip. Second team foul on the Rip. About 2 minutes into the game. Nice pass. Clancy's open for three. Fires it off the back of the rim. Lockwood gathers the offensive rebound. Short jumper off. Roche with the rebound. Rip have the numbers. Roche recovered. Lee looking inside. Nice hands there by Lockwood. Turnovers here. Piling up for Rip early.
Oh, yeah, and Lockwood's been terrific. I mean, that's probably got to be the third deflection she's got her hands on, so being really active.
And it really looks like Phoenix have come out with the better energy to start this one, Dave. Neither team able to find the basket, though.
I hope the new scoreboard isn't, confusing them. Or.
Here's Lee, fires the jumper. That's off the back of the rim.
The new scoreboard's going to put me out of a job, though, I've realized looking at the stream. As the camera pans down that direction, you can see the score, the time, and everything. So I can have a nice, easy one, gents.
Listen, we can make that scoreboard go away, Regan. Right?
Just steal it for another association.
We're not about putting people out of jobs.
There's our first bucket of the game. Amy Brown, the Phoenix captain, Hits the jump shot. They're up by 2.
Pretty good crowd here for the Battle of the Beach early, boys.
Nice pass inside. Lee rolls it in. And after both teams struggled to get a basket, we got 2 buckets back to back. Tied at 2.
Yeah, I did hear before the game, Dave, when I was outside coming in as well, they did say that they're actually using the alternative bathrooms that they use for the netball games because they are expecting a huge crowd, being that it is that Battle of the Beach.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
Yeah, they're definitely anticipating a big crowd, and we've had a good turnout already so far.
Well, I mean, this is better crowd than we see at women's, right?
For sure. Here's Lee, skips it. Good look inside for Ups. She's fouled. She's going to go to the line for a couple shots. Ups on the season from the charity stripe. Is an 82.6% free throw shooter. You don't really want to foul Catherine Ups going to the basket. Hits the first. Second one's good as well. 4 straight, 4 rip. They come out with a bit of pressure here. Nice break. A pass from Brown, though, a little too strong. That's a turnover. It broke it really well. It was just that last pass that did in the Phoenix.
Oh. Scoreboard going crazy with the video here.
Rochi a little too strong on the layup attempt. She thought she was fouled. Phoenix off and running with Clancy. Brown on the baseline now. Jumper's good. The captain, Amy Brown, with all 4 of Phoenix's points. We're knotted at 4. Lee, 3 is good. She hasn't seen a shot she doesn't like.
Absolutely. Been terrific this season and obviously the last few weeks.
Nice
pretty
finish.
hot.
Nice finish there from Brown on the backdoor cut. Abbott skips it. Nice ball reversal. Rochi looking for the screen. Gets it from Lee. Gets her feet in the paint. Kicks it out. Abbott from the free throw line. Jumper short. Nice ball movement here from Phoenix against this man-to-man. Brown likes that matchup. Turnaround jumper is good.
Yeah, really
She's
good
feeling
job.
it.
Really good job of moving the ball. And good for those youngsters out there that, unless you're going to the hoop, don't dribble it. Just swing it around. Let the ball do the work. And good weak side action, too, from the Phoenix.
Nice offensive rebound and put back there from Keisha Lee. She's starting to heat up here. Rip up 1. Clancy steps back, fires a 3. That's off the side of the rim. Lockwood tries to chase it down. It goes out of bounds. Both teams going to the bench. Oh, timeout on the floor, so we're going to take one as well. Only problem, I don't see how much time left we have in the quarter, but we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the rest of the first quarter of action. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at USC Sports Stadium. It's a 1-point lead for Rip over Phoenix. Like the timeout taken there by Coach Campbell. He's going to have to use his timeouts wisely. Only has 7 players suited up for the game tonight. He's going to have to try and keep those 7 as fresh as he possibly can. You got to think he's going to use all his timeouts available to him.
Well, yeah, you'd think so. And even probably in the 5 minutes already, it's been a pretty up and down pace. So the girls are already looking tired. So for the Phoenix, just we'll see if they've got enough horses left to get it done.
Roche getting to the rim. Layup is good. Maddie Roche doing a good job running the show here for Rip. They're up 3 in a must-win game for the Rip if they want to stay within sniffing distance of the finals. Here comes McDonald off the steal. Blocked, and a big swat there from Caitlin Clancy. What a swat there from Clancy. Lee from the wing fires short. Fight for the rebound. Yasmin Miller comes up with it. Here, that's Lisa Ups over to McDonald. 3 is up and down. Now they're going to call it a long 2. Great hit there from McDonald.
Yeah, nice little out of bounds there for the Rip.
Foul off the ball. It's going to go against McDonald. I think that's her second personal. 3rd team foul on the Rip. Here comes Catherine Ups checking back in for Bianca McDonald. Got to think if you're a Rip, you're pretty happy with the way, the pace of the game to start this one as well. You said in the pregame, Dave, you expect to see them trying to really wear down this shorthanded Phoenix squad.
Yeah, and you know, really they want to push the ball, run them ragged, and equally, you know, I'd be looking for a lot of zone as well, just extended zone, not like a 3-2 or a 2-3, and I trap too, just to keep the Phoenix girls on their toes. And again, you know, when you've only got 7, you just that fatigue wears them down. You don't win the game in the 3rd quarter, but you can run over them well in the 4th.
Ups.
Probably got away. No, she didn't get away.
Gets called for the offensive foul, dipping the shoulder in. And the referees giving the Rip players a warning. Ups didn't like it. Roche didn't like it either. Referees tonight, we've got Carolyn Hill and Jake Porter.
Yeah, I was close. I mean, I think it was kind of a little 50-50, and, you know, you maybe call it, maybe don't call it, but...
Yeah, it was too much contact for my liking not to make a call. Like, it came late probably because I was waiting to see where that advantage ended up coming from, but definitely more than happy with the call on that one. If you let that one go, then you've got to let everything go in the sake of consistency, and that's when the game just gets scrappy.
Yeah.
Miller dumps it off for Lee. Lee floating, can't hit, but she's fouled, so she's going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots.
Yeah, well, Amy Brown didn't like it, but unfortunately she just got stuck in a bad spot, but well done to Lee. Again, creating contact. You keep telling kids when you're telling the youngsters, you say, be physical, make the physicality, and make the referee make a call.
Lee hits the first one from the free throw line. Lee's numbers are pretty impressive. Comes into tonight averaging just under 25 points and 11.5 rebounds, also 2.5 assists, shooting at 52.5% also.
What's the old downtown mark? 41 from downtown.
Not bad. Not a bad clip. Nine on the shot clock. Rip come up with a steal. Yasmin Miller comes up with it. Hands off for Roche. Flips one up.
Nice.
Can't get it to fall, but she's fouled, and that's 2 on Brown, I think.
Yeah.
That's a big second personal foul on the captain.
Sorry, man. Good drive from Roche again. Just, you know, really keeping a live dribble, putting the defense under pressure.
Got a few people tuning in on the old Facebook there. Ian and on the Gold Coast, and Nicole from Bundy. Guys, thanks for tuning in, letting us know you're watching.
Do I need to adjust my Battle of the Beach to Battle of the Northern Beach?
I mean
the Gold Coast people might.
Gold Coast has some. Bundy has some beaches too.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We're in Australia. We live on an island. There's beaches everywhere.
Okay.
This is the Battle of the Sunny Coast.
All right. It's not as...
Doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely. No.
I'm just saying.
On behalf of my girlfriend, I have to say that Bundaberg doesn't have beaches. Bargara has beaches, which is exactly where Gemma is from. So she always makes that differentiating point.
Yep, that's very true.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to argue about it. Bargara, Bundaberg. I don't want to get on Gem's wrong side. I'll just leave it at that. 16-8, Rip are up by 8. A minute 42 to go in the first quarter. Here's Brown. She's been quite effective for the Phoenix on the offensive end. Skips it. Three-pointer is up and off. Ups comes down with the rebound. How good is the music, Dave?
He does a good job up here, Johnny.
Miller.
Actually, honestly, let's be frank. The QBL DJs.
I mean, we could have a DJ battle. It'd be tight.
At least between the Gold Coast and up here, which is where we generally hang out, right, each week.
We're not. And please let me clarify: we're not knocking anyone there. We just not. We're not past the Sunny Coast.
They have all lifted their game. And,
yes.
And again, we say sometimes it's a little excessive.
A little loud.
But overall, the quality of the entertainment product this year has certainly lifted. Yeah. And the clubs are doing a good job. Turn it down sometimes, though.
Having a look at the big scoreboard, that was the 15th foul on the Rip. And you see the referees coming over, having a bit of a chat. Is definitely the 15th foul. So going to the free throw line for Phoenix is Georgia Berry. Checking into the game is Darcy Condon for Rip. Two free throws good for Barry. 6-point game, Rip her up. Rochi again, a little too strong in the layup attempt. Miller, another offensive rebound though. Here's Rochi, skips it. Ups on the wing, reverses it. Rochi, nice crossover. Blocked though, and a good block by Saunders. A lot of contact inside. Let's see who they give that one to. Goes against Zoe Campbell inside. Fourth team foul on Phoenix. 37 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Well, the Phoenix have done a good job of keeping it a bit messy and scrappy, which is what they're going to have to do for the remainder of the game. And they're just hanging in here. I think if they head into the sheds at quarter time and they're only down 3 buckets, they'd be pretty happy with that. And this is the pressure I talked about that I'd like to see more of. I'd be trapping in here in particular, just making it hard, especially when they've gone to this, some of their second unit players.
Saunders working against Rochi. Banks it off, though. That looked like it was falling. Rip have it. They can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Rochi in control for USC Rip. Gets the screen from Miller. Step back jumper is up. And that's a wedgie. Miss those guys. I miss the starters. The wedgie count. We should do, in honor of the starters, next year we're going to do a QBL wedgie count. All right? Can we do that?
We've had a few.
The game of the week wedgie count. What do you reckon? We've had about a handful probably.
Yeah, I'd say at least 3 or 4.
Yeah.
This year on our games.
What's the ruling on that though? So it just changes possession because
it just becomes a regular jump ball. So whichever way the arrow favors is the way that the ball ends up going. So nice and easy.
Well, that pretty much puts an end to the first quarter. It's a 6-point lead for the Rip over the Phoenix at the quarter-time break. We'll take a quick one. We'll come back with some statistics and the second quarter of action here in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
There we go.
Welcome back to the USC Sports Stadium on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. It's a battle of the coast here as Rip City up on Phoenix 16-10. Dave, I see you checking out that box score. What's jumping out at you? I know turnovers were a bit of an issue for both teams in that first quarter.
Yeah, well, the rip was early, but they sort of calmed down a little bit, and both teams finished with 5. So, you know, a little bit of a scrappy affair in the first quarter. For the Phoenix, only shooting 26% from the floor. Actually, ironically, so is the Rip. So both teams shooting 26% from the floor.
It took a good 3 or 4 minutes to get our first bucket of the game, and there was a few misses in between there.
Yeah.
I think particularly from the three-point line, both teams struggled a bit. You see Rip attempting 7, only hitting 1 of those, and really they were 4 of 12 from 2. So
yeah, so you know, Lee has 8 for the Rip, leading them, and for the Phoenix, we've got Brown with 8, but she also picked up those couple of fouls. So,
well, let's see. Rip can continue to push this lead out further. They're up by 6, and as we mentioned earlier, Phoenix are only playing with 7 players tonight through injuries. As Lee flips one up, it's off. Good stop to start the quarter for Phoenix. Brown stops and pops and hits.
yeah,
Amy Brown, she's been awesome.
yeah. Offensively, I like that set for the Rip. You know, looking to get Lee on the block, and I just think she just needs to be a bit patient on that, because I think it's a good matchup for her.
Yeah, pushes that three-pointer a little wide. It's an air ball, goes out of bounds. So Phoenix be happy for the Rip to continue to fire away from deep. I think they've had most of their success inside, Dave, particularly off the dribble.
Yeah. Again, they stick with this UCLA set with a couple of variations, and it has been pretty effective for them so far.
Great hands there by Ups. Ball's tied up. Possession arrow favors Phoenix. It's going to stay with Phoenix ball. Brown looks like she might have jammed her finger or something, shaking that left hand off.
Well, it's the only thing that's going to stop her at the moment. 10 points, 10 out of the 12 for Phoenix.
We've seen Phoenix a few times this season. She was excellent when we saw them against Pirates as well, Regan.
Come on, Riggs.
He's got a lot to do.
Well,
Come
you
on.
know what?
I'm focusing on other things just at the minute. That was a good shot.
Good bucket there from Miller. She's been really well, played very well on her minutes so far tonight. Looks like she's going to get an increased action on the court here is Yasmin Miller. There's Brown. Skips it now inside. Saunders has it. Steps through. Layup is good. That's a big, strong bucket there from Nat Saunders.
Yeah, I like what the Phoenix are doing offensively. They've run some nice sets, moving the ball, really unselfish. Good style of play here in this first half, Johnny.
Roche's jumper is good. Clancy has it knocked out of bounds by Ups. That's Catherine Ups wearing the 2 jersey tonight. Her sister Lisa in the 6. Eight on the shot clock for Phoenix. Pass is tipped, recovered though by Phoenix. They got 3 now. Clancy has it, looking to cross over. Ups recovers. Clancy has to fire a deep one, and those hurt. Those hurt a bit, Dave.
Yeah, I think, and she didn't really know, and 4 seconds, I think it was when she finally looked up, and then she didn't really know what to do, to be honest. So you just got to have better communication when you're late clock situations, you know, especially anything under that 6 seconds, you know, you generally want an isolation opportunity or an on-ball.
Kick ball by Clancy. Going to reset the shot clock to 14 for Rip. Here's Rochi. Another long two. That one's off. Big minutes on the plate here for Phoenix. Nice catch, Brown. Can't believe she didn't get the foul call. Was a bit of contact there. Up, skips it to her sister Catherine. Jumpers up, and that's off. Offensive rebound, Lee. She misses the putback. There's a foul inside.
I think that's on Brown. No?
No,
Lee,
they're going to.
Lee.
I think they gave it to Catherine Ups. I thought they signaled two.
Okay. I had no idea then.
It went against number 6.
Yeah, Ups. Okay.
Ups, yeah.
The other Ups. Lisa Ups.
One of the Ups.
Yancia Abbott back on the court for the Rip. Phoenix really needs to find someone to score outside of Brown. You can start to see Rip are really keying in on Brown, trying to force someone else to step up for Phoenix. The long three is no good. Long rebound goes out of bounds.
Well, I mean, you know, despite the offensive structure looking good, I mean, they equally need people who want the ball and make some shots. If anything, they're now being a little unselfish where they need to start running some stuff to get specific players some action.
Offensive foul called. That's going to go against Abbott. Moving screen called. Second team foul for the Rip. 6:27 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like, it was definitely illegal. It was definitely moving. But in the context of the game, I don't believe it caused a big enough disadvantage to warrant a call. It
It's
could
so
have just
far
used
from
a
the
bit
basket.
Yeah. Long way from the basket. There was no advantage gained by the offense. Probably just could have used a little bit of voice and just, you know, clean it up for next time. But in that situation, bit of a tough one there for Abbott.
Phoenix got a pretty good look through. Lockwood missed. Here's Lee getting to the basket too strong. Abbott follows it up and puts it in. Feels like Rip should be up more than the 8 they're up at the moment.
Well, it is 6-4 this quarter, so it's a little low scoring.
Phoenix have it with 5 on the shot clock. Lockwood has to fire the 3 off the front of the rim. Good rebound there by Rochi. She dumps it inside. Lee has it stripped and stolen by Brown. Great hands there by the captain. She kicks ahead for Saunders. Gets it out to Clancy to fire the 3. That's good. Good offense there from Phoenix, and Coach Jay McCracken has seen enough. He's going to take a timeout with 5 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to take one as well. Rip City up 5, 22-17 on Phoenix. And your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at USC Sports Stadium. It's a 5-point lead for the Rip. Good timeout taken there by Coach McCracken. Doesn't want to let this lead slip any further.
Yeah, I think just a couple of defensive letdowns for the Rip, but otherwise I think I'm with you. It feels like they're up by more.
Matt Saunders got called for the pushing foul.
But again, like in these environments, especially against that, when teams are short, you just got to grind it out. And if you trust the process of what you're about, then the goal generally is to get them out in the fourth quarter. Backcourt
violation called on the Rip. Coach McCracken arguing that it was tipped.
Well, I thought it was too, but the referee's closer than us.
Phoenix being really patient. They have one on the shot clock. Got to get a shot off, and they don't.
Yeah, that's the second time they've done that in the last 3 possessions. Just got to improve their communication as a group.
Here's Abbott. Up, going to the rim. Air ball's a layup attempt. Coach McCracken really working the referees every time he gets a chance, having a word. Good triple team. Roche forces the steal. Here's McDonald with it now.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that, Johnny, around that quick double team where it's just, I'd be looking to do that a lot more, especially on those post entries as they're trying to run some backdoor action. The Phoenix, are trying to run some backdoor action. And again, if they can have the opportunity, that's why I'd be looking at quick double team.
Here's Saunders. Long 2 is up off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to Miller. Got about 3.5 to go in a 5-point game.
Nice take.
Good finish there from Matty Roche. Pushing the lead out to 7 for Rip.
Again, it's the third or fourth time where they basically initiate the offense with about 11 seconds on the clock. So I understand they're probably going to intentionally be a little slower today with their being short-handed, but they're really struggling now to get some looks.
Coach Jamie Campbell going to take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. It is a 7-point lead for the Rip over the Phoenix in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at USC Sports Stadium. 3:12 to go in the first half. It's a 7-point lead for the Rip over the Phoenix, 24-17. See you looking at the statistics there, Dave. It's a struggle offensively for both teams, to say the least.
Yeah, it is, and really the only thing is the Ripper are plus 10 on the rebounding. So, that's providing them, I think, with a little bit of a benefit because both teams are shooting quite poorly at 28 and 30% respectively.
Roche, a lot of contact. There's the foul call. Gonna go against Zoe Campbell. Roche's been really aggressive getting to the rim. She's not afraid of some contact either. And you mentioned the crowd pretty good. People continue to fill the USC Sports Stadium up.
Yeah, it's great.
Exactly 3 minutes to go in the half. It's a 7-point lead for Rip. Make it 8 as Rachi hits 1 of 2.
Mad Dog, mate. Mad Dog Rossi, apparently.
Hey.
Yeah, does he have a nickname for every player? I think he does.
So, yeah.
I love it.
I don't know if they're official. I think they might be just his. We'll have to check with, we'll have to get Chris to get confirmation for us. Good bucket there from Saunders.
I reckon we should get nicknames. We're here enough now.
Well, I mean,
that's true.
We've been here 3 of the last 4 weeks. You can't ask for a nickname though. You just got to be given it. It's not worth anything if you ask for one.
This is my subtle hint that if they come back and watch the game, then next time we're here, we need a nickname.
All right, we'll get Chris. Chris will put the word in for us, I'm sure.
He does a good job. The hype man.
Good defense, good deflection. Then they get Roche for reaching in over the top.
It's probably the right call.
It's a frustrating call because she did a great job to get the deflection.
Well, yeah, but equally, I think it was who?
Brown?
Yeah, Brown. She sort of created a lot of the contact. So, but I guess technically speaking, Rochi got caught with a hand in the cookie jar, right?
Well, here is Rochi with it. Loses it. Tried to go behind the back. Here come Phoenix. 4 on 2. Clancy keeps it too strong. Nice rebound by Lockwood, who puts it back in.
I was going to say, when you look off a guaranteed 2, you better make the layup, and she didn't.
A good thing Lockwood had her back. Phoenix only down 4 now. About 1:30 to go in the half. Rochi swishes a 3, though, and a good response by Rip. Here's Saunders on the wing. Nice short jump shot. That's good for Wallace. 5-point lead here for Rip. Rochi again for 3. That's good. She's heating up. Downtown Sippy Downs. I can't take credit for that one.
Nah, you can't.
It's good, though.
It's good.
Flows right off the tongue, and a turnover from Phoenix. 40 seconds to go in the half. Lisa Ubbs checks in for Rochi to get a quick breather. Here's Catherine Ubbs working the baseline, looking inside for Lee. It's tipped out of bounds off of Phoenix. It's going to stay with Rib.
I thought she got away with a carry.
16 seconds on the shot clock. 32 seconds left in the half. Ubbs driving to the rim. Layup is strong. Here comes Lockwood for Phoenix. Good look inside. Wallace recovers, regathers, misses the layup attempt. Lisa Ubbs recovers. 8 seconds. Let's see if Lee recognizes it. 6, 5, 4. Here comes Lee. You know this one's going up. Good hesitation. Steps back. Fires the 3. It's off the side of the rim. That's going to end the first half as Rip go into the big break. Up 8, 31-23. Dave, quick thoughts on that first half of action.
Well, I mean, both teams are really fighting hard for it, and again, just trying to find some rhythm. And I think that just hasn't really come for either group at the moment. But Rip are up, and I think they're doing so primarily with a good defensive effort, and they're turning that into defensive rebounds, which is why they've got a good advantage on the rebounds.
And Phoenix would be pretty happy. Regan down 8 going into the break, only playing with 7 players. It's 31-23. It's been an offensive struggle. We can't sugarcoat that, but defensively, I thought they've done a pretty decent job, and they're getting some good looks offensively, Phoenix.
Yeah, look, realistically, you're looking at both ends of the court, and they're definitely keeping up with Rip City as well, and it's been a very consistent game for them down both ends of the floor. In fact, for both teams, short of those 2 3-point drops in a row for Rip City, we'd have a pretty tight game on our hands. But I think that's exactly right. When you've only got 7 players on the floor, defense is key. You know, you're going to win your game by just physically getting yourselves in position in front, not getting fouled out and keep yourselves on the floor, but just doing as much as possible to prevent those shots. And they've done a pretty good job in the first half so far.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting second half of action. We're going to take a break. We're going to get some hamburgers, hopefully. We'll look at the statistics. We'll come back with some of those halftime statistics for you in the second half of action here in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to USC Sports Stadium. It's halftime. Rip are up 8, 31-23. Dave furiously scribbling away statistics. We took a look at the out-of-town scoreboard also. At the moment, Mackay was up on the Spartans, so
yeah,
Spartans staring at their first L of the season. It's only the first half of action.
I love an underdog, so, you know,
yeah.
See if they can get a W. That'd be good.
It would be pretty good.
Pirates were up over Gladstone as well. And I didn't check anymore after that. But, I mean, this game, we talked a little bit about it in that first half. Realistically, you know, both teams shooting 31 and 32%. They're pretty cold. I think the key is going to be if Phoenix, you know, they've got to get back in the game in this third quarter. And if they can hang around the Rip here, then I think they're a show. And if they can't, then I think Rip will really steamroll them late. But, and for the Rip, I think, you know, pretty promising signs considering, you know, Lee had 8 points at the end of the first quarter and didn't score in the second. So their leading scorer, you know, didn't really contribute a great deal in that second quarter. But, you know, ominous signs, I think, if Lee gets involved and obviously gets some buckets going.
Let's see. Another offensive foul called on Bianci Abbott. It's the second time, and there you see referee explaining the foul call to Abbott. I like to see referees explaining themselves, just giving a bit of a heads up what they were looking at and why they were making the call.
I think she was saying you held your ground and then you moved at the last minute, which, if that's how she interpreted it, was spot on, right?
Turnaround jumper is good for Wallace. Crowd continuing to fill in the USC Sports Stadium. Really nice crowd here. The best one we've seen in the few weeks that we've been up here for sure. Turnaround jumper for Ups is off.
It's probably bordering on one of the best crowds we've had all season, really.
Yeah, I'd agree. The Rip guys were saying if they fill this, it's an easy 1,000 if they can fill this particular stand. Or maybe he meant that and the. Yeah,
no,
maybe
I think just this is 1,000,
okay,
and then you've got your couple of stragglers over in the baseline as well.
Yeah,
so
okay.
yeah,
Nice finish in reverse there from Casey Lockwood. Reach-in foul call. That was an easy call for the referees to make. Goes against Lockwood. It's a 4-point game here. Phoenix have come out with a bit of fire to start the half.
Yeah, first foul for Lockwood, so no one's in foul trouble for either team.
And I got to mention it again because we mentioned it at the start of the game, but University of Sunshine Coast Rip City pushing out that new scoreboard. You can see it in the right-hand corner. It's amazing. As Lee's jumper is off, tipped around, recovered by Phoenix. And I like what Phoenix are doing. I know we talked a little bit about it also, but I like the methodical pace they're playing at. Really just working the clock, trying to get some good looks. They're not afraid to take a shot late in the shot clock. Roche skips it out. McDonald's open, fires it long two. It's off. Nice rebound there for Saunders, and here she comes up court. Wallace will fire a three. Oh, it's a long two. It's a good hit there from Ashley Wallace. And 2-point deficit now for Phoenix.
Yeah, back-to-back buckets for Wallace here in the third quarter. Makes it a 2-point game.
Abbott has it working against Wallace. Finds Lee. Lee goes right at the defense and gets it to fall. Clancy swings it to Lockwood. Good hesitation. Dribble, fires a jumper. It's good. Casey Lockwood.
Yeah, good read. Give Lee the up fake. Lee sold it, and then great little pull-up jump shot.
And good defense on Roche as she misses. Clancy finds Brown. Turnaround jumper is short. Here's Roche with it. Loses it out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds by Brown. Don't forget, we will have the men's matchup between Phoenix and Rip shortly after the conclusion of this women's matchup. It's a 2-point game here. Phoenix, Abbott has it now. In trouble. Good steal from Wallace. And Dave, to start the second half, Phoenix have really come out with much better energy than Rip.
Yeah, they have. And again, Wallace doing it on both ends, offensively and defensively.
Here's Rochi with it. Ups. Gets in the paint. Nice Euro step and lays it in. Really nice bucket there from Catherine Ups. Clancy steps back, fires the three. That's good. Caitlin Clancy cuts the deficit to 1. Lee catches it deep, has it stripped out of bounds off of Phoenix, so it'll stay with Rip.
Yeah, just being a little predictable offensively to start this third quarter, Johnny.
Abbott and Lee get a breather. Yasmin Miller and Lisa Ups check in. Here's Lisa Ups with it. Hands off from Miller. Long two is up and short. Lockwood having a great game, gets a defensive rebound. Brown looks for Wallace back door. She took her eyes off the pill for a second and lost it out of bounds. Roche, 3. No good. Lisa Ups couldn't grab the rebound. Here's Clancy with it. It's a 3-on-2. Kicks it off for the captain, Brown,
Johnny
to lay it in.
That is the lead.
Phoenix takes the lead by 1. Coach McCracken's seen enough. He's going to take a timeout with 4:53 to go in the third. We're going to take one as well. Phoenix up 1. The QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to USC Rip City here on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. It's a battle of the coast, and right now Phoenix up by 1, Dave. They've really come out and played some pretty good basketball in this third quarter.
Yeah, they have, and a little rattled.
Are you surprised? I mean, the energy level from Rip has certainly been disappointing, and I'm sure that's what Coach McCracken is telling them here at the break.
Yeah, well, offensively, they just haven't been great as far as in their half-court set. They only look really good is when Rochi's penetrating and attacking, and other than that, they're just struggling to get some simple looks. And I just think the last 5 odd minutes, the Phoenix have done a better job defensively. They're moving their feet, got some hand on some loose balls, and down the other end, they're getting some easy buckets. So I think for me, the Rip defense just got to improve a little bit in this third quarter. They're down 11. They're down 7. It's been an 11-4 run for the Phoenix in the third here.
Yeah, and Coach Campbell taking advantage of the timeout from the other end from Coach McCracken, decided to take one of his own. So tacked one on the end, double timeout. It's been a few years since I've seen one of those happen in the QBL.
And I think he's doing a great job understanding where his team's at. That's a really nice job there from Yasmin Miller to finish on that layup attempt. But Coach Campbell's doing a pretty good job managing his minutes.
Yeah, he is, and that's a good call, Riggs. I'm just trying to think of since 02 when I was playing. I can't recall a double whammy.
Yeah. I can only remember in my entire career in QBL of 9 years ever calling one double timeout.
Yeah.
And that was not at the coach's request. I forced them to take one because they wouldn't come in. So it's very rare to have two back-to-back.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good call. I mean, you gotta use your timeouts.
Sure.
You have 7 players suited up. Everyone's gonna play big minutes tonight. So really well done there by Coach Campbell. Free throws ties it up at 37. Under 4:30 to go in the third. Here's McDonald with it. Gets to the basket. Can't get it to fall, but she's fouled on the way up. Going to go against Nat Saunders. Bianca McDonald going to go to the free throw line for a couple of shots. And Rip have come out and executed pretty well on their possessions after that timeout.
Yeah, and I was going to request a Lee sub quickly, so, and she just checked in after a few minutes on the bench to recharge the batteries. I think they certainly need just to really spark a little bit of, I guess for both teams, it's been a pretty flat game. They just everyone's looking for someone to heat up a little bit and spark a bit of fire.
And here comes a bit of pressure off of the free throws from Rip. Lockwood. Now Brown, top of the key three. It's off.
And again, for the Rip, that's a good option. We talked about that earlier. And you want to encourage a quick shot, because sometimes in those quick traps, the offense gets a little excited and flicks it and chucks up something that you don't necessarily want to chuck up. And so that's why I like mixing it up in some of those traps and presses throughout the game. Nice.
McDonald from the corner. Too strong. Offensive rebound, Yasmin Miller. The old Oregon takes me back to MSG. McDonald again with 2 on the shot clock. Nearly turned it over. It is going to be a shot clock violation, so Rip just seemed really out of sorts here in this third quarter.
Yeah, which is going to be frustrating for Coach McCracken, because you really would have challenged him to continue on with that 7-point lead and from the half, especially when again I'd be pumping up the whole. Only got 7 players, just to psychologically really challenge the group.
Good fight for the rebound.
Ups.
It's going to go against Catherine Ups, fighting with Amy Brown for the offensive rebound. Baseline out of bounds for Phoenix. Here's Clancy open, top of the key 3, off the back of the rim. Keisha Lee with the rebound. Ups with the left hand, too strong. Lockwood defensive rebound. Phoenix seemed to really be keying in on Keisha Lee, not making anything easy for her. Lockwood slipped through Wallace's hands. Phoenix recover. Clancy has it with 6 on the shot clock. She's going to have to get a shot off quick. And she travels. How many, I would love to get a pedometer on the referees and the coaches. I'm watching the coaches just pacing, both coaches pacing up and down the sideline. You got to cover a couple. You probably, as a referee, cover a few Ks in a game, wouldn't you?
Yeah, from my recollection, because I actually remember trying to count myself how many I would do in a game. At a QBL level, between the women and men, you would average between about 3.6 and 4.5 K per game.
That's not bad for a referee.
Yeah, I think I remember reading once that Iverson did 6K in an NBA game as a player.
Do you think that's a lot?
Yeah, but it's when you actually break it down, it is a lot because there's such bursts of sprint and then cool down as far as, hips low
Practice
to stop. Then there's explode, then there's box out, then there's dive on a ball, and so it's pretty intense workout, that's for sure. And then you throw in a 6K run in there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. You see a lot of teams nowadays with the ones you put in the
singlets.
The singlets. I'd be really interested to see what an average for the QBL would be.
Yeah, well, the NBA guys absolutely would have all that data now. I just haven't seen anything recently, but.
Rochi fouled hard. It's a really tough foul there, handed out by Zoe Campbell. Gonna make Rochi go to the free throw line for a couple shots.
Well, they're going to need more of that as well because, realistically, it's only her and Lee that are scoring. And they're trying to get Lee off this high sort of screen flex action at the top, but it's really just not being super effective. So I think they need to mix it up a little bit.
I got to give a bit of credit to the Phoenix defense on that. Really denying Lee tremendously.
Yeah,
so
they
far.
are, and they're really scrapping and frustrating Lee by being quite handsy, which is what their job is.
Here's that pressure you wanted. Ubbs putting Clancy under a lot of pressure. And here's that turnover. Here's Rochi with it. Dumps it off for Ubbs. And she's fouled on her way to the basket.
Yeah, more of that, Johnny. More pressure. Should have been doing it a half ago.
You got to get the pressure on, but you want to force some turnovers also. It's a bit hard to set up those traps and that pressure off of misses, Dave, and I think that's where Rip have struggled. Both teams struggling to put the ball in the hole, so to get that defense set's been a struggle.
Yeah, and as you say, and you're absolutely right, Johnny. You really want to set them up after a made bucket, so you've got time to set it up as they inbound the ball. And here we see more pressure up in this backcourt.
Good pass over the top. Saunders nearly traveled.
Nearly. Come on, Johnny.
Coach McCracken,
ain't nothing nearly.
He's really frustrated.
Like, I know you want to go for a little walk on the beach, in the morning, but she just had a walk on the beach, mate.
That's a long two there from Saunders, making that look like a walk on the beach. Phoenix down 1. Miller. Pass tipped out of bounds by Phoenix. Going to stay with Rip.
Well, Rip have fought back after that 11-4 deficit. So they're only down 4 in this third quarter now.
And you see Lee on that possession, finally getting a good pass and a good possession with the ball. And a nice finish there by Georgia Berry. But you can see Lee is a bit frustrated as Phoenix retake the lead by 1.
Yeah, very frustrated. And as I said, she's just not getting in the groove, getting the spots.
Rochi's 3 is off. Campbell grabs the rebound. Phoenix with 40 seconds to go. Nice high-low action. Berry can't finish. Lee grabs the defensive rebound.
Well, there's 2 in the backcourt. They're going to move the ball, get it in transition.
Got about 20 to go here in the third. Phoenix up 1. Rochi has it. Kicks it out. Miller fires the 3 off the front of the rim. Berry nearly lost it and recovers. Here comes Brown. He can hold for the final shot. Brown going to fire the jumper. It's blocked by Keisha Lee. There's a foul inside.
Yeah, over the back. And
it's going to go against Berry.
Could be a couple. 2 shots.
That is the 15th foul on Phoenix, so it is going to send Rachi to the free throw line for a couple shots with 5.5 seconds to go in the third.
I'm not sure what the Phoenix coach is unhappy with.
I have a feeling he was more so asking about, not so much the over the back, but the foul on the shot.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, as far as, we're a long way away, but as far as we're concerned, it looked like a pretty clean block from here.
Yeah.
But I think Coach Campbell, a little bit closer to the core, maybe thought there was a little bit more than just ball in that one.
Rachi ties it with the free throw. Phoenix get it. Campbell fires the wing three. That's off the front of the rim. We're going to head into the final quarter of action, tied at 43. It's a really successful quarter for Phoenix in that one to get themselves back into it. It's a brand new ball game now. We're all tied up, fellas.
Yeah, well, from a body language point of view, I really like where the Phoenix is doing, and they looked really pumped up, whereas the Rip looked really deflated. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out, Johnny.
Let's see what happens. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the final quarter of action. We're all tied up at 43 between the Rip and Phoenix, and your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at USC Sports Stadium. 43 all between the Rip and the Phoenix. Don't forget, guys, also, I have yet to remind everyone, but we all know Narelle Kelly, longtime member of the basketball community here in Queensland. Narelle is in the fight of her life at the moment. There's been a GoFundMe account set up for Narelle. Please go visit the website, GoFundMe, and search for Get Narelle Well, and make any and all contributions that you can. Every little bit will help Narelle in this fight. So please, like I said, visit GoFundMe, search Get Narelle Well, and make any donations you can. Back to the action, though. It's 43 all, start of the fourth quarter. Should be shaping up for an exciting finish here, gents.
Yeah, the people keep coming in too, which is great. Good timing. 43 all, top of the fourth.
Yeah, look, we said at the start, at the very end of the second quarter, that it's going to come down to defense for the Phoenix, and they did a really good job in that third quarter. Bit of a lapse there in offense, turning it over, but from Phoenix perspective, defense is incredibly important in this fourth quarter. They'll start to feel tired. They've only got, the two subs on the bench, so they just need to. The offense will come. Just keep your feet moving, keep in front, play good D, get the stops, and Phoenix will get themselves back into it.
Yeah, well, they've turned it over twice in 2 possessions to start the fourth, so not the start you want if you're Phoenix. Here come Rip now, up by 2. A bit of contact. They're going to get Clancy for the flop. McDonald, corner 3. That's off the side of the rim. Good rebound by Lockwood. Gee, I've been impressed with Casey Lockwood here tonight.
Yeah, she has been really good, I think, and nice move.
Good footwork by Clancy, plus the foul.
Oh, Clancy's been, she's been excellent as well.
There's the flop warning for Caitlin Clancy.
I don't really know if I agree with a flop warning on that one. I definitely agree with the no call on the foul. I don't think she flopped. There was definitely contact that caused it. I think she was just off balance in the position that she was and fell over. So I agree, no call. I think flop warning's probably a bit harsh.
No comment. I'm just going to get mad.
Clancy
finishes
the three-point play.
I completely agree with you, Riggs, but the whole flop warning thing is...
Extra ball on the court.
Multi-ball. Go back to the old school retro pinball days. Had a second one in there. Why not? Make it interesting.
Yeah. Don't know where it came from either.
That's a good call. I wonder what that would look like. 2 balls on the court. Yeah.
We should make it happen, Dave.
We'll
set up our own little nothing but net media multi-ball game.
It would be a hot mess, probably.
I think if you're Rip, you want to see Rochi get hot. Misses the 3 on that one. Lockwood, another defensive rebound. And Ups gets called for the reach-in foul.
Well, it certainly hasn't been pretty from downtown in the Battle of the Beach. 3 of 31 from downtown combined.
When you're approaching Regan Baker statistics from three-point land, you know it's troublesome.
But Clancy's been terrific, averaging 9 points a game, and she's got 10, and she's hit him at good, really big moments for the Phoenix. Here we go.
Clancy for 3, too strong.
I really wanted to make that.
Yeah, I mean, it would have made you look good.
I would have, but...
Ups made a bad decision there. Phoenix come up with the steal. There's Lockwood, nice step, and banks it home. Casey Lockwood pushed the Phoenix lead out to 3.
Yeah, Lockwood's got 9. Done a good job of sharing the ball too. Phoenix in their second half in particular.
Big block by Brown. Really seems like Ripper playing a frustrated brand of basketball here in the 4th. Phoenix just taking it in their stride. Lee rattles home a 3 to tie it up.
There's an easy way to fix the frustration, and that is give Lee the ball. He's got some Marvel action on the DJ.
Here's Clancy with the left hand. Can't get the bank to open. Here comes Rip on the run. Ups, misses, gets her own rebound, puts it in with the left hand.
Yeah, well, she was well defended. Yeah, it was a good no call. It was well defended, and then she managed to get the offensive rebound and put it back in.
Abbott and Lisa Ups check back in for Rip.
Look for a little pressure off this out of bounds.
Are you surprised Coach Campbell hasn't really played Campbell or Berry all that much tonight? Are you surprised?
Yeah, well, I mean, I am a little surprised.
Lockwood hands off for Brown. Swings it back to Lockwood. Good rip move. Floater up. No good. Ball lost out of bounds there by Wallace. People keep piling into USC Sports Stadium. They got a close one on their hands here. Ripper up by 2. Lee shakes free. Can't get it to follow. Here's Brown. Inside. Floater. In and out. .6:24 left in this one, 2-point game. Keisha Lee getting a breather.
Yeah, I like the last couple of sets they've ran for her. She just missed a couple of shots, that's all. I think they've really got to probably get her back in the game pretty quick.
Ups lost it. Here's Wallace with it.
Because other than her and Rochi, it's been a little rough.
Blocking foul called there on McDonald. Starting to get a little chippy out there. 3 team fouls on Rip, 0 so far on Phoenix at about the 6-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
I think the Rip are getting frustrated because Phoenix are just doing a really good job of moving their feet, putting their body in front of the player.
Rochi with the rebound. She splits the defense. Looking to get inside. Dumps it off. They're going to get her called, though, for the offensive foul. The charge call there on Maddie Rochi. You didn't like that one, Dave.
Well,
it was a bit deep, and I kind of felt like Rochi was a little bit out of control. She left her feet.
Yeah, I'd like to see it again, but my naked eye, I thought she was moving. So,
well, there's a timeout taken on the floor. We're going to take one as well. It's a 2-point game between Rip and Phoenix. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is shaping up for an exciting conclusion. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you at USC Sports Stadium. 5:42 left in this one. Rip up 2, 50-48.
yeah, Johnny, we went to Secaucus in New Jersey.
We did.
We're happy with that offensive call.
All right.
And we're also...
I'm sure the referees will appreciate you're okay with it, Dave?
We just want to, just want to reward good performance
Yes.
all over it.
Here's Brown dumping it inside. Foul called. Looks like it's going to go against Lisa Ubbs. That might be the 5th team foul on Rip.
It is, yeah.
That is. So that's going to send
5-0.
Yeah, it's going to send Lockwood to the free throw line for a few shots.
Oh, that'll really help the
5:30
Phoenix.
left to go.
Really help the Phoenix, I think, here. That'll be a big factor in the game in this last 5 minutes.
I mean, it doesn't look ideal on the scoreboard. 5-0 foul count in 4.5 minutes, but in defense of the referees, I mean,
Oh, no, nothing.
Rip just hasn't really played good defense in this last quarter, and they haven't got themselves in front.
Yeah, and the Phoenix, they've done a really good job of keeping their hands out and playing good body defense. Really good positional on that offensive, as a perfect example on that offensive foul.
Well, they survived that one with none from 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah, well, if you're a Phoenix, if you're going to get there, you better hit them. You're down 2. This could really... this is a big game for both teams as Lee hits a jumper, pushing the lead out.
I think Abbott needs to be a little bit more aggressive too. I mean, she just doesn't even look to the basket. Only shot the ball twice.
But Phoenix need this one. Rip probably needed a little worse than Phoenix. Brown under a bit of pressure, nearly turns it over. Lockwood recovers. 5 on the shot clock. Lockwood's in trouble. Saunders out to Clancy. Clancy's got to get the shot off. She won't. That's a shot clock violation.
Absolutely, it should be.
They
let it go, but absolutely it was a shot clock violation.
Here comes Ubbs. Has it knocked out of bounds by Clancy. 4:33 to go. A 4-point game here at the University of Sunshine Coast on Sippy Downs. Ubbs hands off. They get it back. Abbott fires the long 2. That's good.
I mean, I asked for it and I get it, Johnny.
6-point lead now for Rip.
She averages 8 a game, and so that's only her 3rd shot. Certainly capable, so I just think she needs to be a bit more aggressive.
Clancy looking inside. Lockwood hook shot is good.
Lockwood, I like her.
You love a good hook shot, Dave.
Yeah, she's been good. Also, Lee's been caught a couple of times on bad closeouts. Just, gone too long, and then she's out of position, and then her team has to help and rotate, and she's got to clean that up.
Casey Lockwood came into tonight averaging 9.8 points, and she's right about at it with 9.
Rip built a couple, bit of a lead here, Johnny, up 4.
Lee, nice catch, goes to the rim, too strong. Tipped out of bounds off a rip. Madison Rochi checking back in. .350 to go. 54-50 rip up on Phoenix. Don't forget, we will have the men's game for you shortly after the conclusion of this one. Referee's blowing the whistle, looking to get the shot clock started. Gonna reset this?
Yeah.
They didn't reset the game clock.
No, they well, because your new board is the shot clock, they had to reset it.
Yeah, but they didn't reset the game clock, is what I'm saying. The game clock came down.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. I don't think they won 10:04. Here comes the challenges of the new system we have here at the University of Sunshine Coast.
Let's test it out. How long will it take?
The score's changed now as well, so all of a sudden it's a 1-point ball game.
There we go. They need to fix the score, though. It's a 54-50 on the scoreboard. It says 54-53. There we go. All right, all sorted now.
No one gets away with anything.
Software still working, intact. Pass inside by Clancy, stolen by Ups.
Yeah, big turnover.
Here comes Catherine Ups looking for Lee. It's too low. That's a turnover.
Again, just rushed. Bad pass.
Saunders lays it in. Rip cannot put this Phoenix team away. They are scrapping for everything.
Got to move.
Lee.
Need some player movement.
Woo! Big bucket there from Keisha Lee. Squaring up and hitting it right in Lockwood's face.
You just got to give it to her here in the last couple minutes.
Under 3 to go.
Statistically, it tells me, she's due. She's had a bit of a rough night to start, so hopefully she can bring the Rip home for those Rip fans watching.
Great footwork there by Lockwood, drawing the foul on Keisha Lee. Lockwood gonna shoot 2 free throws. She's 1 of 4 from the charity stripe tonight. Lockwood missed the first. Second one good from Lockwood, cutting the deficit to 3, 56-53. 2:45 to go in this one. Lisa Ups backs her way in, bank shot off, tipped around, a lot of contact inside. It's gonna go against Lisa Ups. Amy Brown drawing the contact. It's gonna be 2 shots, so the captain Brown gonna go to the free throw line for a few. Couple, I should say, sorry. .234 left in this one.
Ref's giving him a little bit of a breather.
I think Brown took a bit of a slap to the face. Kind of just shaking that one off. She'll go to the free throw line now.
Yeah, Brown 12, Clancy 11, Saunders 8, Wallace 6, Lockwood 12, Berry 4 for the Phoenix. Done a really good job of being right in this ball game with only the 7.
1 of 2 from the free throw line. That puts Phoenix at 8 of 12 for the night. Down 2. Here's Abbott looking inside. Lee shakes free, finishes, plus the foul.
Yeah, great job. Great screen, and after she screened to those youngsters, always open up, and that's exactly what Abbott was looking for. Great hit, and 1. Lee now with 17.
It's been a quiet 17, but
yeah, 7 of 18 she has, and the 8 boards.
Big free throw there also. Pushes it out to 5 now, the Rip lead. Here's that trap. Clancy skips it ahead. Here's Brown back to Clancy now on the wing. Inside for Lockwood. Short jumper off the back of the rim. Brown, big offensive rebound. They're going to call it jump ball. Possession arrow favors Phoenix. You got to love that when you see your captain scrapping for every play. Brown putting a body on the line a few times here in this fourth quarter as well.
Yeah, great rebound. 3 black jerseys, and the white one came up with it.
It's a baseline out of bounds here for Phoenix. Wallace nearly turns it over. Clancy recovers. There's 6 on the shot clock. Clancy fires a deep 3 off the front of the rim. Wallace offensive rebound, put back too strong. Lost it out of bounds off of Phoenix. It's going to be Rip ball. Again, Brown right in there, causing a bit of havoc on the glass.
Yeah, tough miss for Wallace. Good offensive rebound.
Phoenix probably wanted to pick up a little full court pressure here as well. Under 2 to go, down 5.
Well, again, I'd probably double team Rochi on this on ball. Try and get the ball out of her hands, and make someone other than Lee do something.
Lee gets it to fall. 7-point lead now for Rip. Phoenix need a bucket in the worst way. Saunders fires a deep 3 and banks it home. That's a big bucket. A lot of Phoenix fans in the crowd here tonight.
Yeah,
And again,
the clock
shot clock.
No, the game clock didn't move. Well,
Or the shot clock,
the
yeah.
shot clock probably not either, but yeah. The score's funky, but it's a 61-57, right, Riggs?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of technical issues on the new scoreboard. I think the foul count wrong as well. I'm pretty sure the Phoenix have two team fouls, not the 1. So a couple small issues. Game clock hasn't started, so we're going to go all the way down the other end of the court. Kick things back off again.
Yeah, see all this technology, man, I got right here. Wait.
Boom.
There's no technology better than the brain.
Tell you, I love the mix of music here tonight. Feeling a bit of 80s right now, Dave.
Hey, he's done a good job, and all the local cameramen are here too, which is great to promote the game. All the regional towns in Brisbane, you have no chance. But good for the regional towns to get some local camera crews here.
McDonald, corner 3 is good. That's a huge bucket. Pushing the lead back out to 7. Then another whistle.
I think he called a time as well.
Clock's running.
He definitely wanted a time.
Coach Campbell going to take a timeout. We're going to take one as well. It's a 7-point lead for Rip over Phoenix. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you at USC Sports Stadium. Good time out there by Coach Campbell. His team's down 7 minutes, 6 to go in this game. See what Phoenix got. They need a bucket, or else this one could be over. It's going to be Brown for 3. Off the side of the rim, no good. Wallace nearly gets it. Rochi recovers for Rip. Phoenix need to foul. No, they're not going to go for it. Going to let Rip work some clock.
Oh.
They're going to get Rochi for the turnover. I'm shocked. There was so much contact there. Look at all from Regan Baker, our resident referee.
Probably needed to be a call. Don't really care what call, but a call.
Oh, Phoenix have it now, down 7. Brown, now Clancy. Step back 3, blocked by Ubbs. Ubbs gets the pass back, and there's Clancy returning the favor, fouling on the other end, and that's going to do it. Really scrappy affair, but Phoenix just didn't have enough in the tank, I think, Dave.
Yeah, they didn't, and they really. I was thinking of the right word. Admirable sounds like a really lame adjective, but it has been admirable. I mean, they only had 7, and they certainly had their opportunities. They led most of this second half, actually. So I think Phoenix obviously was short-handed and did a really good job for most part, but both teams shot the ball so poorly. And at the end of the day, Rip just came away with some key buckets at the end when they needed to.
And it was, like you said, scrappy affair, but it's good to see the rivalry and how much it means for both of these teams. They've drawn in such a great crowd here tonight and really scrapping for it from the opening tip right down to these last few final possessions.
Yeah, I mean, for the Rip, their 17 turnovers didn't help, and that's what kept Phoenix in the game as well. But both teams shot pretty poorly. 35% for the Phoenix. 3 of 15 from downtown, and for the Rip, only 34% from them and 5 from 20. Out of town score, Johnny. Mackay up 3 over Spartans with 1 quarter to go. That'll be 2 shots. Silly foul.
Nine-point lead here. It's pretty much over. We got about 14 seconds to go, but don't forget, we will have the men's game for you shortly after the conclusion of this one, so don't go anywhere. Game will be on the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel as well as the Basketball Queensland Facebook page. Again, another really important game for both teams. Rip on the outside. Phoenix holding on to that 8th spot. Huge matchup in the men's game, and it was a huge one here. Really puts a bit of a damper on the Phoenix's record, drops them down to 7-9. They were in 9th. The win will bring the Rip up to 6-9. So these teams will be pretty close on the ladder at the end of this one. But that's the final, 66-59. What can we say, gents? It was not the greatest of starts for both teams, but they certainly ramped it up in that second quarter and onwards. And it became a pretty tight game. Rip just had a little bit left in their gas tank, I thought, to pull away towards the end. And it really wasn't decided until the last 3-4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, definitely so. And, it was always going to be tough for the Phoenix coming up with only 7 players. And it was always going to be a very, very tough game coming into this massive stadium at the home of Rip. It was a big game for them. And they, like you said, Dave, it's not a great word, but it's the word that comes to mind. They did an admirable job. They came out here, they fought with 7 players. They had a really great point spread across all of them. And defensively, they did a pretty good job as well. We said that was going to be key when you've only got 7. And they stepped up to the plate and they did a good job. Just at the end of the day in that fourth quarter, Rip just had a little bit more gas in the tank and came out with a W. Yeah,
a lot of positives for the Phoenix. I mean, defensively, I thought they were really good for a lot of the night. The turnovers, hurt him as well, and again the Rip just did a better job in that fourth quarter, closing it out 23-16, and that was effectively the final score.
And Rochi and Lee were pretty good there in that fourth quarter, particularly Keisha Lee coming alive, leading the way for the Rib with 22 points and leading all scorers with 22 points. So another impressive performance for Keisha Lee. That is going to wrap things up for us here. Don't forget, though, next weekend we do have the QBL Game of the Week coming for you. It is the Southern District Spartans hosting the North Gold Coast Seahawks. The women will tip at 6, followed by the men at 8 p.m. The Spartans sitting undefeated at the moment, but they were down to Mackay heading into the fourth quarter tonight. I do want to thank everyone for tuning in. I got to thank Chris Sieber on the camera. Got to thank Regan Baker on the production and commentary, my co-commentator, Dave Derwin, and of course James Bowman and the Australian Sports Network for all of the graphics and technical support they provide us. That's going to wrap it up, but don't go anywhere. We'll bring the matchup between the men, the University of Sunshine Coast Rib City, and the Sunshine Coast Phoenix for you shortly on the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel and Facebook page. We'll see you then. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to another presentation of the QBL Game of the Week by Nothing But Net Media.